Okay, good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday, October 23rd. So we always start by looking back, learning from the past. So last week, what did we learn? The title was Right There in the Moment of Sadness. And the two concepts that I chose to work with was longing on one side and limitless space on one side. So for me, just looking back and see what I learned about myself helps as a reminder. Today we have a longer reading. I usually pick shorter ones, but I wanted to read this one. So the title is The Law of Karma. The Law of Karma. And it's a long reading. I hope it's useful to you. Let's see what she has to say. When bad feelings such as uneasiness, depression, and fear start coming up, notice how you always do the same thing. Notice how you shut down in some habitual, very old way. According to the law of karma, every action has a result. If you stay in bed all day with the covers over your head, if you overeat for the millionth time in your life, if you get drunk, if you get stoned, if it's just this habitual thing that you think is going to make you feel better, you know that's going to depress you and make you more discouraged. The older you get, the more you know how it just makes you feel more wretched. The law of karma says, well, how do you want to feel tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It's up to you how to use your life. It doesn't mean that you have to be the best one at cheering up or that your habitual tendencies never get the better of you. It just has to do with this sense of reminding yourself. Sometimes you can say, couldn't care less. But after the fourth day of lying under the sheets in your dirty, smelly clothes with your socks on, with the empty bottle next to the bed, whatever the scenario is, you say, maybe I should go out and buy a new shirt and take a shower and go and look at the ocean or walk in the mountains or make a nice meal or do something to uplift my situation, to cheer myself up. Even though we may feel very heavy-hearted, instead of eating poison, we can go out and buy the best filet mignon or whatever it might be. In my case, the best peach. Okay, so what did I hear from Pema? She is pointing out that we all have habitual patterns that are not good. It could be drinking, drugging, eating, sleeping, whatever it is. But we do have an habitual pattern. And when we take, so some of the actions that we take are they're short-term solutions or long-term solutions. So maybe today we work on the choices we make. The choice I'm making right now, is this a short-term solution or is it a long-term solution? Maybe those are the two categories. The choice I'm making, is that a short-term or long-term solution? Well, you can do that or you can pick something up. Okay, sitting up tall. Moving your feet. You can look at them using your eyes. And then you can use your sense of touch by noticing how the soles of your feet are connecting to earth. That brings us into this physical body and into the present moment. Maybe notice your breathing. And then bring your awareness up to your two sitting bones. Feel those two sturdy, steady parts of your body, the sitting bones. And one sitting bone could represent short-term solutions, and the other one long-term solutions, or short-term choices, long-term choices. So short-term, long-term, short-term, long-term. Going from side to side, reminding yourself that you have a choice. You have a choice. And then coming back to neutral. Maybe bring your awareness up to your the crown of your head, gently tap just to see it's still there. It's still there. Maybe use your fingers to open up your shushumna. Open up. And remember, there is a part of you that is permanent, that never disappears. It's permanent. Made out of stardust. Think about it as stardust. I don't really know, but that's the idea. There's a part of you that is permanent, such as stardust. Maybe imagine how you can see that stardust travel up and down in your own Sushumna. Maybe imagine how that stardust comes from your Sushumna, goes out into the universe, into all the trees and soil and earth, and back into you. It's all stardust. We are all built up of stardust. And then place your hands on your knees. And then starting the cat-cow motion. Notice what kind of breathing you're using. So what is helpful today? So maybe you are exhaling on your back bend and inhaling on when you're rounding. And then come back to neutral. Open and close your fingers. Blinking, bubbling stars among the stardust. All the way up. Clasp the hands, turn them over, straighten your elbows, breathe. Maybe today we breathe in and out through the nose, in and out through the nose. Choosing something different. And then reach and reach and reach and reach. And then turn and open up, look behind you. And then release the arms, lift and release a few times. Look at your hands. Maybe imagine them as blinking, bubbling stars among stardust. All the way up, clasp the hand that feels funny. Turn them over, straighten your elbows, breathe. And maybe today breathe through, in and out through your nose. And then open up and twist, look behind you. And then release, lift and release, lift and release. Maybe roll the shoulders one way and then the other. And then bringing the arms up in cactus, going from side to side. So we all have patterns, and Pema pointed out some of the patterns. So what do we do when things get tough? And the way she talked about was, some of us, we stay in bed. Sometimes we drink too much. Sometimes we drunk too much. Sometimes we eat poison. So what is the pattern that you are using when things go bad that are not helpful? Not helpful. So identifying that pattern. One of my patterns is eating sugar. So I know when I start craving or eating too much sugar, something is going on. What could I do instead? And that's what could I do instead? So swimming in a different pattern that would be a better long-term solution than to eat sugar. Okay. And then letting the two patterns have a conversation. What would happen if my pattern of eating sugar, maybe a better solution would be working in the garden? What if my eating sugar and working in the garden, if those two stopped for a coffee or a conversation, what would it look like? What would those two patterns look like? What would the sugar part of me say to the gardening part of me? And let them stay there in conversation for a while. They're both going to argue for their cause, right? Oh, it's so much better to have another cookie. And then try the other side. Listen to the two parts of you that are having this conversation, why it's better to stay in bed for 3 days, or why it's better to get up and take a shower. And then let's try all four. You can stay here. You can go cross like this if you want to. Or you can kick and scream if that's helpful. Working with your core. And then eventually release. Okay, with a wide and stable stance, we can observe without judgment. So there's a part of me who likes that all that sugar, and there's a part of me that knows better. Okay, so what is going on when I'm going for the short-term solutions, and what is going on when I'm going for the long-term solution? So just knowing that I have these two parts in me is helpful. And then what lies in between the sugar eating and the gardening? Maybe there are other solutions in between. Maybe um, maybe having a healthy lunch with a friend is a solution in between. And then coming back to neutral. Now imagine all the short-term choices that we make. So think about those short-term choices. Give it a color, a shape, a form. Use your hands to pick a color. And then draw the image of short-term solutions. What do they look like? How does it feel? Draw the picture of short-term solutions. And then release that image. And then go to the part of you that make long-term choices. Long-term choices. What does that look like? Pick a color, shape, form. And then draw that image. And then release that image. And then jump the feet together. Jump the feet together, landing in Tadasana. And then we're going to write the story. Write the story. It's a different part of the brain that uses language. So spread the toes, dip the toes in ink, write the story. Write the story about short-term choices. Write the story. Write the story. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together. Breathe. And maybe today breathing in and out of the nose. And then release your hands down, drop the head. Inhale, come back up. And then place the foot on the knee. Use your fingers to open up the toes. Gently guide that knee out wide. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under. Give yourself a hug. And then find your way to seated eagle. Seated eagle. Okay. Look at the part of you that makes short-term choices. Look at that part. What do you see? Look at the wings, the feathers, the eyes, the beak. How does that part of you move? And then release that bird, release that bird. Okay, let's try the other side. So open the toes, dip the toes in ink, and then write the story. Write the story when you make long-term choices. Long-term choices. And then step out wide, elbows to knees, fingertips together. Breathe. If you want to place the hands on the floor, drop the head, let it be heavy. And then place the left hand in front of your face on the floor, the right hand on the right knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, look up towards the sky. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist and reach, twist and reach. And then that top arm comes down, thread the needle, find the opposite ankle, walk the left hand forward, and look underneath your armpit. Inhale, come back to elbows to knees. And then place the right hand in front of your face, left hand on your knee. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, look up towards the sky. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale. And then reach, twist and reach. Twist and reach. And then that top arm comes down, thread the needle, find the opposite ankle. Right hand moves forward and look underneath your armpit. Inhale, come back, elbows to knees. And then placing the left foot on the right knee, use your fingers to open up your toes. Open up the toes, gently guide that left knee out. And then slide the knees together. Whatever leg is on top, that arm goes under. Give yourself a hug. And then finding your way to your version of seated eagle. And this eagle is the part of you that make long-term choices. Long-term choices. Look at the feather, look at the wings, the eyes, how it flies. And then release that bird, let it fly away, let it fly away. Okay, back to a wide and stable stance. Look at your hands, blinking, bubbling stars among stardust. All the way up, clasp the hand that feels funny. And then straighten the elbows, breathe. Now your arms are wings, your fingers are feathers. Spread your wings, and here we go. Calm, confident, whole, and complete. Calm, confident, whole, and complete. Flying around in the world. Turn the palms up. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale, come up. Exhale, dive deep. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then bring the arms behind you. Holding on to opposite forearms. And then release the right arm, bring it up and over, place it somewhere on your back body. Noticing the connection to your past. And then release. Release the left arm, shake it up, bring it up and over, placing it somewhere on your back body. And then release. Okay, let's place the feet hip distance apart, a little closer to your chair. Now, going to build strength in our legs. Big inhale, exhale, push into the earth to come up to standing. Okay, let's pick. You pick a number, I'll pick 10. Or actually, I'm going to pick something else today. 12. I'll pick 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to rest for a few moments. Big inhale. Exhale, push into the earth, come up to standing. Pick the same or different number. I'll pick 7, just to break my habitual pattern. Okay, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then resting for a few moments. Inhale, exhale, push into the earth and come up to standing. Okay, breath of joy. 3 inhales and 1 exhale. Here we go. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale. And then let the arms go. Let the arms go. Let the arms go. And you can bend the knees. And you can leave the mat. You don't have to stay on your mat. You can go outside. And then let the the elbow and the knee meet for a quick coffee. Maybe go to the other side of town for a lunch. And then finding position of power. Position of power. Feel your feet and the connection to the earth. And the shoulders connection to the universe. Place your hands on solar plexus. That's your power center. Inhale into it. Exhale, open up. Inhale into your power center. Exhale, open up. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, and then stay open. Stay open. And release. Okay, so we're going to push something away to create space for something else. So think about a pattern that you have that is not helpful. It's a short-term solution and it's not helpful. So think about it. We have, I mean, my obvious is eating sugar, but I have other patterns that are less obvious, but maybe more harmful. So I'll think about some of those patterns, and you can do the same if you want to. Give it a shape of form, maybe a name, and then push that away. Push it away. Push it away. It's going to be hard, but you can do it. You might have to use some extra kicking to keep that pattern away because you've been doing it for a very, very long time. Very, very long time. Eventually, it's going to be gone. And you can release the hands and feel the balance. Feel the balance or the harmony. Okay. Let's celebrate that with 3 sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. That was 1. 2 more. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. Last one. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Exhale down the midline. And then stay there holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. And release. Okay, starting in Tadasana, big toes to touch, heels slightly apart. Stepping back to warrior 1. Inhale to chair posture, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, step back, finding the earth. There's no rush. So building that wide and stable foundation. And then bring the upper body up. And then the arms. Bringing your hands to your back pockets. Allowing the heart to lead and the mind to follow. Heart to lead, mind to follow. And from here, maybe bringing that back foot up, giving yourself a hug. Breathe. If you wanted to, you can take the outside of that foot and go all the way into a different balancing posture. And then back to earth. Inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, big step back. Find the earth. Okay, so this could be building a new pattern. So You decided to build a new, better pattern. So, starting with step one, and then adding on. So, step one would be could be, okay, I'm going to try a new thing. I'm going to try a new pattern. Step two could be to write it down. Write it down. And step three could be to add some images, some color, illustrate it like a book. Write it down and then illustrate it. Step four could be to really feel how will my life change if I do this new pattern? And then eventually do it. Taking action. If you want to, you can bring that back knee up, give yourself a hug, maybe reach for the outside of the foot. Wow. There's always another posture, it's never over. Okay, inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, stepping back. This time we're opening up the second chakra, the pelvic halves, accessing our right to feel, our right to feel. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. So maybe imagine that you have incorporated that new pattern, that new, more helpful pattern. So you're already there, you already succeeded. How does it feel? What does your new life look like? How does it feel? Flip your hand, reverse. Notice the opening in the left side. Moving forward. Notice the long line of energy from the back foot to the top arm. Back to warrior two. Hands on your hips. Feel your own power. Straighten that front knee. Release down and become that blinking, bubbling star that you are. Back to warrior two. Hands on the chair. So you decided on a new pattern, and then you have to do it. And then eventually finding your way back to Tadasana. Okay, inhale to chair, exhale to Anjali Mudra, transfer the weight, stepping back. Open up the pelvic halves, accessing the second chakra, the right to feel, the right to feel. One arm in the past, the other one in the future. Flip the front hand reverse. Notice how you open up the right side of your body. And then move all the way forward. Notice the long line of energy from your back foot to your top hand. Come all the way back. Now hands on your hips. Feel your own power here. Feel your own power. Straighten that knee and then become that blinking, bubbling star that you are. Trikonasana. Hand comes down, rebend that front knee. Back to warrior two one more time. And this time, now when you have your plan, take action. Take action. And then slowly finding your way back to Tadasana. Okay. Starting at the top of the mountain. So you climbed all the way up, and here you are at the top of the mountain. And now your job is to plant the tree. So drop the seed, or maybe fertilize. What kind of tree are you planning to plant? What kind of garden are you going to grow this time? So drop the seed to that garden, transfer the weight, and then allow it to start growing. Maybe it's an entire garden. Maybe there's grass and flowers and shrubs and trees and dogs and cats. What's in your garden? What kind of garden would you like to grow this time, or this season? And some plants might die, and other ones they really thrive. And then eventually finding your way back. Everything dies down. It's winter or it's fall, and it dies down, and eventually it's winter and everything goes to sleep. Some are perennial, some are annual, some are going to die because of the cold. And then drop another seed and create a new garden, a different garden. What does this garden look like? And then finding your way back to Tadasana. It becomes fall, things die down. It's winter, they go to sleep. Some plants are gonna die, others are gonna survive. That's life and death. Okay, that's the circle rather. Okay, spread the toes. Uh, Hands on the chair. Yeah, let's stay here for a few moments, like in a down dog version. You can bend one knee, bend the other, bend both, come up on your tippy toes, and then eventually release the knees down. Take the color of short-term choices. Short-term choices. How? And then give that a little dot. And then long-term choices. Long-term choices. Poof. And then mix the two. Mix the two. Two big circles. Place your hands in your back pockets. Bring awareness to your heart. Allow the heart to lead the way and the mind to follow. They're both needed. They're both needed. Okay, untuck. Find your way to your version of child's posture. Feel the connection to the earth. It's always there. Inhale, come back up. Clasp the hand that feels funny or different. Tuck the toes, lean into your support. Come up to dolphin posture. And then bend the knees and come back up to standing. Okay, there we are. Okay. So after the physical practice, what do we hear? What do we hear this time? The law of karma. When bad feelings such as uneasiness, depression, and fear start coming up, notice how you always do the same thing. Notice how you shut down in some habitual, very old way. According to the law of karma, every action has a result. If you stay in bed all day with the covers over your head, if you overeat for the millionth time in your life, if you get drunk, if you get stoned, if it's just this habitual thing that you think is going to make you feel better, you know that's going to depress you and make you more discouraged. The older you get, the more you know how it just makes you feel more wretched. The law of karma says, well, how do you want to feel tomorrow, next week, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? It's up to you how to use your life. It doesn't mean that you have to be the best one at cheering up or that your habitual tendencies never get the better of you. It just has to do with this sense of reminding yourself. Sometimes you can say, couldn't care less. But after the fourth day of lying under the sheets in your dirty, smelly clothes, with your socks on, with the empty bottle next to the bed, whatever the scenario is, you say, maybe I should go out and buy a new shirt and take a shower and go and look at the ocean or walk in the mountains or make a nice meal or do something to uplift my situation, to cheer myself up. Even though we may feel very heavy-hearted, instead of eating poison, we can go out and buy the best filet mignon or whatever it might be. In my case, the best peach. Okay, so we have about seven minutes to meditate upon this. So finding your seat, sit up tall, find your breath, notice the inhale, notice the exhale, and then I'll be quiet for 7 minutes. Here we go. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, move your head from side to side. Take a deep breath in, let it go. Bring your hands up in Anjali Mudra, holding your own heart in between your hands with self-love and self-compassion. Maybe bow your head in gratitude for this practice, thousands of years old. Thank you, inner guide, your past, present, and future teachers, and all the people that are joining you on this journey. Open your eyes, raise your gaze, and thank you so much for practicing together this morning. Namaste. Okay, so if you want to, now is the time to bring out the journal. So it's October 23rd. The title was The Law of Karma. And the two concepts were that I picked was short-term choices and then long-term choices. And I have done this practice a million times. I'm going to do it again, and this time I'm going to go a little deeper. I know my obvious short-term choices, such as sugar. There are a few that are very obvious, but then there are deeper patterns that I have that I do, and some are completely unconscious. I'm not going to reach them yet, but there are some that might be semi-conscious, and that's what I'm going to hope to gain a little bit more insights about. So what are my semi-conscious patterns that gives me short-term relief instead of long-term solution? So that's what I'm going to do.